swimming in Lake Baldenei, an artificial lake on the River Ruhr. The bathing spot is new. For 40 years, swimming wasn't allowed here. The water was too polluted.
It's really nice. I'd like it to be bigger, but it's wonderful to be able to cool off on a hot day like today when it's 30 degrees. The swimming pool is way too small.
I used to come here with friends when my children were little. They could play in the sand but couldn't go in the water. Now it's a big hit.
For decades, the city of Essen was dominated by the mining industry. Coal was mined deep underground and processed in coking plants. Pollutants contaminated the soil and water. The mine shut down about 30 years ago. But the city is still struggling with their legacy.
We couldn't install an underground sewer system because of the subsidence caused by mining. The wastewater was fed through canals into the Emscher River. The river was unusable and the canals were also polluted. We call them Köttelbecken and they smell awful.
Soon, these Köttelbecken will be gone. The sewage canals are slowly being moved underground. The massive project began about a quarter century ago. In 2 years, it will finally be completed.
Fish will return to our rivers and streams. We'll be able to go paddling and children will be able to play in them. It's very moving to think that this badly damaged natural environment will be returned to us after 100 years. That's as it should be. It's environmental justice.
Essen also has another environmental challenge to contend with: traffic. After the Second World War, urban planners built a network of multi-lane roads across the city. Now, the green capital of Europe 2017 is trying to convince drivers to ride the subway, buses, or bicycles. But driving is convenient here, so it's a hard sell.
Driving is still appealing because our infrastructure has been designed with cars in mind. Driving is fast, and there aren't many traffic jams. That makes it harder to convince people to switch to bicycles or public transport. These other modes of transportation need to have massive advantages over driving in order to compete.
This new bicycle highway is one important step in getting local drivers to make the switch. The first section, which is 11 kilometers long, is already finished. By 2020, the bike highway is supposed to extend 100 kilometers through the Ruhr region. The first stretch, which runs along a former railway route, is already proving popular with local commuters.
The cycle highway bypasses all the major traffic arteries. There isn't a single traffic light on the entire 11-kilometer stretch, and we're going to extend the path from Duisburg all the way to Bochum. The cycle highway has some major advantages. First of all, it's a lot faster. You don't have to stop at the lights or wait at intersections, and it's very safe.
The project is a major step forward in creating a climate-friendly city. But Essen doesn't plan to stop there. The city wants to continue moving forward in terms of mobility and environmental protection.
People don't want to own a car anymore. They'd rather just access one when they need it. The future is electromobility, car sharing and bike sharing. With a smartphone app, people will be able to locate a bike or a car share, or public transportation options. Going digital will let people connect intelligently.
With nature slowly replacing asphalt, the remnants of Essen's coal mining industry are slowly vanishing. Today, this past has been relegated to museums, and the city is pushing forward many environmental initiatives. But it will take decades for the soil and water to recover. After heavy rains, pollution washes into Lake Baldenei. Then the reservoir is closed for bathing until pollution levels normalize. Today, though, the lake is open for swimming, and local residents are making the most of it.
If there's a bird widely associated with arid mountain landscapes, it's the vulture. These birds of prey are terribly misunderstood. They play an important role in their ecosystems, yet in Africa, as in many other parts of the world, they're largely under threat. All too often they're poisoned and their body parts used for traditional medicine or killed by poachers who fear that their presence will alert authorities of their illegal activities. So South Africa's Endangered Wildlife Trust has been monitoring vultures for decades and are trying to develop measures to save them from extinction.
When she needs to buy ingredients for remedies, Philly Motlasedi doesn't go to a pharmacy. She goes to a muti, or traditional medicine market in Johannesburg. Here she can find everything a sangoma, a traditional South African healer, needs. It's a thriving business, but sadly also costs the lives of many endangered animals. Vultures are one prominent example. A bird like this costs the equivalent of 200 euros at the market.
They use mostly the eyes and the head for clairvoyances. That's what they say, because it can see from a distance.
The consequences for the vulture population are disastrous. In the past 30 years, their numbers in Africa have dropped by up to 80%. Andre Botha manages the Endangered Wildlife Trust's Birds of Prey program, which is trying to save Africa's vultures. Vultures are the continent's waste disposal service. As scavengers, they feed on carrion, which hinders the spread of disease. Botha says that these days their greatest enemy is poison. It's easily available and inexpensive.
So what you see there is how quick and easy it is to lure birds in to come and feed. And that's unfortunately what a poacher does in exactly the same way. The only difference is that they put down poison baits. They kill the birds and they then go and sell them for money.
Africa's large savannas are closed ecosystems. Each animal species has a specific place in it. But time and again, the rise in poaching incidents throws the system out of equilibrium. Every 15 minutes, an elephant is killed by poachers in Africa by means of firearms or poison. Game wardens found this dead elephant in a remote stream. Andre Botha suspects it died a natural death since its tusks haven't been removed.
The birds will come down in large numbers, up to 400 vultures will come and feed on it over a number of days. Unfortunately, in certain parts of southern Africa, poachers have taken to poisoning carcasses like this. And what they do is eradicate the vultures from a particular area to mask their activity so that rangers can't pick up on what they're doing.
Learning about the behavior of vultures is no less important. They're currently being studied by a group of researchers. But first, they have to catch one. And that takes plenty of patience.
Maybe the distance isn't too far between.
Okay.
And an ability to sprint at the right moment.
There we go. We capture these birds and then we fit these wing tags to them, we ring them, and we also, in some cases, harness them to follow their movements, to track where they go and find food within their range across southern Africa, and that enables us to sort of get an idea of the areas where they potentially could be exposed to threats.
Andre Botha's aim is to eliminate those threats as well as he can, so that there will still be a place for vultures in the skies over southern Africa.